Hello, everyone. So good to see so many faces. Hopefully we can see some of the faces. I see names I know. I see names I don't know, which is marvelous.
Hello.
Sì, no.
My name is Richard McCarthy. I am president of the World Farmers Markets Coalition. It's so good to see so many of you today.
Posso
If I could
crederci.
ask you to keep your sound on mute so that we don't have any disruptions. But I encourage you, please, to chime in on the chat. Let us know where you are calling from. With my team here in Rome, where we are based, the International Secretariat, we have pulled this meeting together for you. If English is not your preferred language, please note that in the interpretation, we also have French and Spanish. So by all means, please chime in and by all means, choose the language that you are most comfortable with. We will get started. I still see people still signing in, but since we have so much to cover in such a short period of time, and I know that your time is valuable, we don't want to dilly-dally, so we will dive right in. Again, my name is Richard McCarthy. I am president of the World Farmers Markets Coalition, dialing in from Geneva, New York, but the rest of my team who is here is mostly in Rome, where our International Secretariat is based. We are committed to cultivating a community of practice that is devoted to the role of farmers markets that serve farmers, serve consumers, and they serve the communities in which they are based. And we are very excited to introduce to you a global campaign, which we know is a challenge. We all operate in different seasons, different climates, different rhythms, but we are very excited to introduce a global campaign that will hopefully fulfill many of our goals, including to communicate to the wider world, as well as to your specific geopolitical place on the planet, the role of farmers markets as adding value to local life, or as we put it here, that farmers markets count. If I can ask you, Viola, maybe to give us the slides that'll keep us on target. I do also wish to apologize that our Director General, Carmelo Troccoli, had every intention to be here, but he was pulled into a meeting and sends his greetings to everyone. Whether you are a member of the World Farmers Markets Coalition or you are just learning about us, we are excited to have you here. We are a worldwide membership-based organization committed to the role and the professional management of farmers markets to be agents of change. We're very excited that this campaign, which we've been developing over the last year, is certainly a culmination of work that many of us already have been scratching around to develop the most effective yet light means to measure our effectiveness. We very much want to create a culture of evaluation in farmers markets, and we hope that this will help to do this. We will be spending the next 25 minutes giving you the orientation, and then we'll open it up to questions and answers because we know that this is a lot that we're throwing at you. So what we'll be doing today is share with you that what you'll be able to learn is how to participate in the campaign, how to sign up, what we'll be sharing with you in the coming weeks so that you have the tools in order to run a counting campaign in your own farmers market, and how we will then aggregate these numbers to show the the global power of our grassroots institutions. We'll give you the overarching view of the campaign, what the communication strategy, and then the timeline and what comes next. So the campaign is Farmers Markets Count. This is the first time we will be launching a campaign. We have participated in many other campaigns that, whether it's Buy Local or the U.S. National Farmers Market Week, we're very excited to create something of a census where we can identify specific ways in which farmers markets count in our communities. So maybe Viola, if you can go to the next slide. Our objectives are indeed to demonstrate by actually counting, by counting whether it is the biodiversity, the shoppers, or the farmers in our markets, will begin to communicate how we actually do have numbers behind us. We have extraordinary impact. We're often under recognized, and our goal is to recognize these impacts and then to share them with policymakers, with farmers who may not know precisely what the opportunity is in farmers markets, as well as really important element. We know that we need more stakeholders to run our farmers markets. We cannot do this alone. So whether it is public health or rural development advocates or public space advocates, that we can make the case of how farmers markets add value to the territorial economy and ecology of places. In particular, we'll be really looking at the social inclusion, whether it's on the farmer or the consumer side. And of course, as we get started with the first leg of our campaign, or campaign A in this effort, our biodiversity. Next slide. So the scope, of course, is we want to elevate the name and the concept of farmers markets. We know that in many of our own locations, we still challenge to explain how a farmer's market may differ from another kind of market. So this is an opportunity to reintroduce who we are, that we are serious about our work, and what kind of impacts we have. So our goal is certainly to increase the visibility of the World Farmers Markets, to expand our network, to promote the concept of farmers markets, whether they're in our network now or ever, but that this is a specific strategy. It's a political strategy in which to regenerate local food economies. We also hope that it'll develop tools within markets to not be intimidated by evaluation. It often can be, the zone of work that only experts do. We very much want to convey the fact that we are experts in this work. We, from your input, have been able to identify specific things to evaluate, and we will share the methodology of how to conduct the counting. And then, of course, we will share the impact, the numbers, and help you to share it with your audiences. Next slide. And here's where we get to the aims, and the aims that my colleagues will share how this fits into the calendar. We know that to have one day a year to focus on farmers markets is a challenge, because one day may be the best part of the season in my bioregion and the worst part of the season in yours. So we've identified three key dates on the calendar, and these three dates are known dates that are approved and recognized by international agencies like, as in the United Nations and the Food and Agriculture Organization at FAO. So we will begin in, we're sort of upside down, but we want to show that farmers markets count when it comes to communicating that they are access points for consumers. We want to know who are the consumers, where are they coming from, that these are access points for consumers to gain direct connection to farmers, not just to get the food, but to learn about food. The second leg is to count the number of farmers in the market. Where are they coming from? Who are they? How far did they travel to come to the market? In order to make the case to other farmers that this is an opportunity for them. And then, of course, where will we begin the campaign will be in World Biodiversity Day in May, in order to count what biodiversity products that we have in the market, provide the tools for you to count the biodiversity, as well as to build stories around specific iconic products that may be rare or endangered or do not fit into the industrial food grid. And so with that, we actually have 3 tiers of this campaign. In May, around biodiversity, in July, around Rural Development Day, and the role of farmers and evaluating, counting how many farmers, and at World Food Day, the conclusion of the campaign in October. And I think with that, I can turn this over to my colleague, Viola Capriola, who will give you some of the more detail about the overview of the campaign.
Hello, everyone. 1 second, I'll push back. I think yes. Can you see my screen?
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes, all clear.
So hi, everyone. Nice to see many of you today. So interested about this campaign. And I jump immediately in the what and when. And as Richard was saying, this is a very first digital global communication campaign developed and designed by the World Farmers Market Coalition with activation action in farmers markets. So we have a one unifying message, farmers market count, but as Richard was introducing, we're gonna have 3 main moments to make sure that more farmers market in different season and geographies can join this campaign. So we are gonna call them campaign A, B, and C. Campaign A is the first one, and it's the one that is happening in May around the International Day for Biological Diversity, which is on the 22nd of May. And we envision that the action at the markets will take place between the 19th and the 25th of May. Between this week, each of you and the association that want to join this campaign will have the opportunity to count biodiversity at the market. Campaign B will be around the Rural Development Day, which is on the 6th of July. So the action at the markets are envisioned between the 3rd and the 10th of July, and in this case is to count farmers, including and especially women and youth, because we want to make the case that farmers market are not only a great opportunity for farmers in general, but especially for actually smallholder and like farmers that usually are marginalized by conventional supply chains. And then we have the campaign C, that is in October and is around the World Food Day, which is on the 16th of October. And in this case, we envision action between the 13th and 19th, and we're going to count shoppers to make the case and show how many shoppers rely on farmers market. And so, as Richard was saying, and provide also a good communication to attract more farmers to our farmers market, making the case that farmers market are a good platform to sell for them, and also a good platform for shoppers to actually increase the awareness and food citizenships. And on the last day, on the 16th, around the campaign, on the occasion of the campaign C, I would like to also mention that we are planning a final event that probably will be in person in Rome, and we will share more information soon. So what are the impact that we envision on these target groups? Campaign A, which is to count the diversity of food, is, as we say, directed to partners who care about biodiversity. So either they are partners like policymaker, local decision maker, or they can also be like organization that works in your area with biodiversity. And so we want to make the case that are concerned about consumer access to fresh, healthy, and local food, and a diversified diet that is known to be good not only for the sustainability but also for human health. So this is a call also for you to say, yes, there is this campaign. Yes, we are counting, but also let's connect with organizations that are working with biodiversity. We invite them to the market. We join forces because we believe that with partnership, also future like possibility can be unlocked. Campaign B is to count farmers and type of farmers. As we said, with a focus on women, youth, and indigenous farmers. And again, is directed to policymakers, but also partners and also consumers to make the case that farmers market are a hub that support like a more inclusive food system. And then campaign C, that is to count shopper, is directly primarily to farmers, just to share also with them numbers and what they can expect on our farmers market. We envision two different levels of participation. The first one is open to everyone. So when we say everyone, we mean other organizations, civil society, private citizen, researcher, academics, whoever want to share digital content material for this campaign and help us actually disseminating the case and the message that farmers market count. So our campaign is going to be mainly digital, so we're going to create a lot of content material that you will be able to reshare through your channels. And then there is also a level of participation directly directed to farmers market. In this case, you will be asked to join the process of self-evaluation and counting in your farmers market. We're going to provide you with all the material and also the training to count biodiversity, to count farmers, to count shoppers, and create a real census and data collection. How can you join? Which is one of the objectives, of course, of this webinar. So in the case of the first group, for everyone, as I say, you can write us at info@worldfmc.org with the subject farmers market count, and you can express our interest. So this is for like not farmers market, so for activists, for like researchers, for like private people or organization also that want to support the campaign and leverage our message. You can follow on our social media and share the campaign insights on your channels, newsletter, or whatever. And then you can also support your local markets because there will be happening a lot of, let's say, events around this counting on the specific days at the market. By volunteering or like offering your help, you will be able also to support your farmers market. So if you're here today attending as a citizen or as another organization, this is all the way you can contribute to this campaign. For farmers market, which most of you are, you can sign up here. There is a link here, and my colleague Manuel will pop up or share the link also in the chat now. And then once you fill up the format on the upcoming day, you will receive all the material, and you will, every time there will be a campaign, so campaign A, B, C, you will get dedicated training sessions and webinars to get prepared. Performing indicators, because it's important to decide also which are our goals, to set indicators, to be able to count also our like success. What we are envisioning is that from May until October, we're going to run a census across 250 farmers market around the world. I mean, this is a starting point. We hope for many more. And then we have campaign A, at least 500 biodiversity products reported in farmers market. Campaign B, at least 2,500 farmers accounted for in farmers market. And campaign C, at least 375,000 shoppers accounted for in farmers market. These are the goals for the 3 campaigns and across 250 farmers markets. But as mentioned, we are also hoping for more markets to join this campaign. I'm gonna now leave the stage to my colleague, Giulia.
Hello, everyone. I'm Giulia, and today I'm going to talk to you about the marketing and communication part about this campaign. From our side, we will give you a lot of content, tools, and material that you can share to engage more people and be active on the campaign. To be practical, we will give you digital content material to share online and offline. We will give you, for each campaign, press info in order for you to release them on your own website or social media, or if you want to approach to some local press to share the information to a broader audience. Then we will also give you a methodological toolkit to count and collect the data, digital content to share the result that you will collect, and a slide deck presenting the World Farmer Market Coalition with information regarding the scope, our community, services, and projects. Talking about the plan, the key dates, as we mentioned before, are 3: May 22, June 6, and October 16. But to be more precise, we will not celebrate and do the action just on that specific date, but for the whole week of these 3 dates. The phases of this campaign regarding the communication are 3. We have a pre, a during, and a post campaign. The channels that we are going to use are LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, the website, the newsletter, and of course, WhatsApp. If we want to focus on the phase before the campaign, the objective for each campaign, the objective here is to build anticipation, create a community, and engage with the stakeholders that could join and be active on the campaign. The key actions for this phase are, of course, promote all the content on social media, so announce the launching of campaign A, B, and C, to let the official communication material circulate across all different channels that we and you think are better for your audience. We will develop the digital poster, infographic, templates, and all sort of design that we will share with you in order for you to add your logo and make small changes if you want, and then share them online. And of course, we will always keep inviting the members and people applying to this campaign through WhatsApp, social media, and newsletter. During the campaign, the objective is to maximize the visibility and engagement both at local and global level. Local, is it possible with campaign offline, so in the market, and at global level, trying to combine all the different social media channels that we have. The key actions here are to promote the events in the market, the live coverage on social media. So, for example, live streaming, real-time updates. And in order to have this live coverage at maximum, we really need your help, because you are be the one that we will that share with us all the key insights and key videos and content from that week at the market. Then we will always encourage people to use the hashtag FMCOUNT in order to have a broader visibility online. We will also use press release and media, so all kinds of social media, to get more people involved. Then we have the post phase of each campaign. Here, the objective is to reinforce the message, the key message that we want to share, to showcase all the results that we've got, and to keep people engaged with this campaign. The actions here are to publish a report with the data collected during the week, to share the successful stories that we've got from you, and to maintain the engagement through discussion even though the campaign will be end. So we will keep approaching to that topic in order to still remark that the farmers count. Here we have an overview of the communication calendar. We are already in March, but we started doing the structure of this calendar in February when we first announced this campaign. Till April, we will have 4 webinars, one on Canva, on how to set the Canva profile. Then we will have a campaign A training, then Canva 2. So a second part on Canva focusing on the design. So how to edit and make the design that we will give you right for you. Then we will have the last one about photos and videos. So I will show you how to create the best content for that week's at the market. We will also give teasers of the campaign. We will keep the invitation high, and also we will share the material that we made for this campaign. From May to June, we will have the release of campaign A, where we will share all the material and final instruction for you to participate. We will announce the campaign on social media and all the channels that we have. We will go live with the campaign, so from May 19 to 25. And at the end, we will share the results of the campaign, posting a report with all the key information that we've got from the first campaign. Then from June to July, we move to the second part of the campaign. So for campaign B, we will share the material, we will invite people, and we will have all the key dates to launch the campaign B, and then the actual week at the market. Of course, here we will also share the outcome of the campaign B as we will do for campaign A as well as campaign C. In October, we will have the launch of campaign C with all the materials that we will give you. We will have the week of World Food Day, and also we will have a final gathering in Rome. And of course, the outcome of the data that we collected through campaign C. I'm sorry, I just realized that here we have a mistake. As soon as we will give you this slide, you will have with campaign C with all the right information. The final part of this campaign will be in November and December, where we will collect all the general data from campaign A, B, and C, and then we will do a final analysis. We will share the insight and the numbers of this campaign. So in that moment, we will see actually how if we reached our goals and how our expectations were lower, because we will have a higher number of interaction and key performance indicator from what we thought at the beginning. I think this part is done.
Yes, it's me again. Hi again. So what's next and the time plan? Let me go to what next. As I said, please sign up. This is the first step. You sign up and then you can be part of the campaign. And then we ask you to help us sharing this campaign to make sure the more farmers market are reached out. As Richard was mentioning, the campaign is for members, but also for new farmers market that are not part of our coalition yet. And how can you help us sharing the content, reposting all the content we share on our social media, and then also distributing the digital brochure that we will share with you in the future days. And the link is also in this presentation by clicking here. And then, of course, activating your team and all your volunteers and join the preparatory webinars. This is a very important, all these webinars are very important. As some of you know how to use Canva, so I guess it's going to be less relevant for you to join the first webinar on April 9th. But otherwise, if you don't have Canva, it's important you join the webinar on April 9th and understand how to create an account and how to use it. This is going to be a webinar run by Manuel, our colleague Manuel, and as he already mentioned it, for non-profit Canva is for free. Campaign A training webinar. This is mandatory for all the people that, of course, sign up. It's on April 14th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And in this occasion, we will share the methodological toolkit for Count, how to report the data you have counted, how to take how to also which kind of material, graphic material you will get, how to use Canva is on April 22nd with Julia, and how to take picture and video is also with Julia on April 29th. I want to mention that all webinars will be recorded. So yes, if you cannot make it on the day, you will have the chance to watch the recording and also translated in English, Spanish, and Italian. Timeline for 2025. So March, present the campaign and sign up, which is what's happening today. And then in April, we're going to have, as I said, the campaign A training, Canva intro, photo and video webinar, share the material for campaign A also. We're going to start sharing the material for the first campaign. Then in May, we're going to run the campaign. And so you're going to be, you're going to run the census at the market about biodiversity. In June, we expect to share the result of campaign A and start basically the same, preparatory system for the following campaign. So there is always going to be a webinar where we're going to focus on the upcoming campaign. In June, it's going to be about counting farmers at the market. We will share the material and get ready for the July campaign. In September, we're going to have the same for campaign C, so preparatory webinar to count shoppers and share the material for campaign C. We don't have the date yet for June and September, but I expect we're going to be able to share the dates for June in May and the date for September in July before closing for the summer holidays. And then October, as already anticipated, we're going to have the final campaign, and we are envisioning a final event at Campagna Amica Circo Massimo Farmers Market to close together this campaign. November, December will be for like data gathering and analysis and the creation of this brief, and we are imagining also some nice infographics that can be used on social media to actually easily and very focusing share insight on what we have collected through the 3 campaigns. I think this is it. These slides will be shared with you along with other material in the upcoming days if you sign up for the campaigns. If you need more information, you are always welcome to reach out to info@worldfmc.org. And now I'm going to stop sharing. We are very happy to take as much questions as you have because we wanted to leave space for questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Viola and Julia, for giving the overarching view of something that is both a communication strategy and an evaluation strategy. We know, and for those of you who have conducted evaluation in your farmers markets, you know that if there is someone there standing with a hand clicker, actually counting the number of people coming through your market, or with a board and you're checking off information on a sheet of paper, that it attracts attention. It attracts attention from shoppers and from farmers. And we think it is really valuable to use these key moments and we will train you on how we will all be using the same methodology so that in your own market, you will be counting the numbers, So we have a census of the biodiversity in your farmers market and compare it to all the farmers markets together internationally. This will be the communications campaign. We will start with biodiversity and then farmers and then in the end consumers so that we can demonstrate the power of our work, which often gets lost in the weekly ordeal of farmers getting products directly to consumers. So we know that this is complex. It will last many, many months. We hope this is just the first time we do this so we can begin to convey the power of our work. But if there are any questions, we know that we're not giving you all the information at once. We will have a session about the methodology of how we plan to count the biodiversity in the coming weeks. But we wanted to give you the whole picture and most importantly, how to sign up so we can get this train moving. But if you have any questions, I think you can certainly put them in the chat, or if you'd like to use the digital holding your hand up, you're certainly welcome to speak. An uncharacteristically shy farmers market group. Either we were absolutely clear or not clear at all. Is there anyone with any questions, points of clarification, or about the methodology? You will be receiving a kit, a digital kit, so that when you conduct your census, you'll be able to also communicate it. Okay, I see some questions coming in. My question was how to define counting biodiversity. This is a very complex issue. What we will provide you with is the categories of products that you will then assess. You will evaluate and count how many different kinds of products do you have in the market. We know that if we were to create a category for cabbage, then it would be what kind of cabbage, or a carrot, what kind of carrot. What we're looking for are the numbers. And then when it comes to the story of products, we will then have the format of how you tell the story about particular products. Maybe it's one, maybe it's three different products you want to focus on so that you have both numbers and storytelling. As for Anna Maria, thank you for your question about, that you are an independent advocate. How can we sign? Well, it may be, Anna Maria, folks like you can connect with a farmer's market in your region to join in their counting exercise, their census, or it may be that you as an advocate can write about this. We really think that this will provide an opportunity for a local press release to demonstrate that our farmers market has impact far deeper and wider than most had realized. And on this date, our farmers market participated in this international campaign to evaluate how many farmers are coming and from how far. So these may be opportunities for media opportunities. World Farmers Market Day. So we have for the last 3 years participated in National Farmers Market Day in the US, which is in August. And we made it a World Farmers Market Day. We will still encourage participants in that as well. But we know that August is, for some, and certainly I think of our Italian colleagues, a challenging month, to say the least. In terms of the follow-up sessions, we know that everyone has different levels of technological skills. And we do see that the Canva tool is a useful opportunity to package and communicate the impact of our work. So we're providing skills on how to utilize that. If you're already up to that skill set with Canva, not a worry. The ones that'll probably be of great interest is the methodology. We will have online tools of where you key in your information and how to spit out the reports that come from it. So I've been looking through some of the questions. Viola, you've probably seen some that I missed. If there are any questions you want to respond to, or Julia?
One sec, I'm reading them. I can see a question asking for example, and I've just asked which kind of examples they are looking for, because they say the follow-up session, could we have some examples? So maybe being more specific, then we can certainly make sure to have more examples, yes. Also, do you have a sense of how many people will be required to run each of these counts? It depends on the size of your markets. Yes, you're correct. For instance, in the market where I operate in Denmark, we have usually 20 producers at market day. So of course, I imagine that 3 people will be more than enough to run the census for biodiversity. In the case of shoppers, is different because shoppers, I mean, we have an average of like 1,500 to 2,000 shoppers at the farmers market. So we will need maybe more people. This is also something we're gonna probably discuss at the preparatory, at the training webinars that we will run ahead of each campaign. And then
if I could jump in, Viola, there's also a very good question that's related to that is, how much work will this take? We know that every farmer's market is overstretched and undercapitalized. We also know that evaluation is key because you get what you measure. So putting energy into measurement you can drown in this. Our goal here was to develop some fairly light evaluation tools. So we do not hope this will be a cause of major concern and anxiety of, oh, why did I say yes to this? Which is why each of the methodologies are meant to be fairly light. Now, as light as they may be, counting the number of shoppers, where they came from, whether they're first time or whether they're regular, this sort of data with these counting and then intercepts, we think are so valuable. And for those of you who have conducted evaluation in your own market, you know that every time you stand back and look at your market, look at the entrance. How easy is it to count whether people are entering the market? We thought there was one entrance, but there are 6 entrances. Every time we conduct this evaluation, it begins to create a culture of evaluation where we evaluate every little decision we make in the market, because we know it takes hundreds of little decisions every week in order to make the market a success. So we hope that this will be one of the unintended outcomes, is this analysis as we all participate globally utilizing the same methodology.
Yeah, just to reinforce what Richard is saying, it's going to be fairly simple. We are not expecting any very highly complicated questionnaires or things like that, because it would be impossible even to manage something like that at the global level. So yeah, this is just to make sure you understand, yes, the more or less the amount of work that is needed.
And many of you may run more than one market. So let's say World Biodiversity Day. World Biodiversity Day, and forgive me for not remembering which day of the week it lands this year, but it doesn't matter if you don't run a market on that day. I think this is a great opportunity to utilize World Biodiversity Day as a chance to communicate to the wider world that, to your audience and to the audience you want to attract, that we are conducting a census of the biodiversity in our market this week, whether it's a Saturday or a Sunday or a Tuesday, around World Biodiversity Day, to recognize the importance of farmers markets to preserve and promote biodiversity. But also it's just a snapshot. So if you run 3 markets a week, you can choose one. You could also do all 3 of them, but they would each be independent, census that then gets aggregated. Of course, we want the more, the merrier, but not everyone can take on, evaluating each and every market. But choose one, and we know it's a snapshot. And snapshots are useful, especially if we take them each year. Okay, let's see any more questions. Yes, and what I love is that many of you have become expert in conducting evaluation already. We know that the economic impact is sort of the holy grail, the one thing that everyone wants to evaluate. We're not doing that here, but we hope that this will be an amenity, an additional insight to your market that may help to provide uh, some of the benefits, the ways in which your farmers markets count, the stories below even just the money in terms of who are the vendors, where are they coming from, and as Viola commented in particular, the growing number of young farmers, the growing number of women farmers in the market, the fact that we begin to get a number account on that, it may surprise people. It may start a conversation. And we hope, as public spaces, this will start a conversation within your market. It'll start a conversation with your shoppers. It'll start a conversation with the neighbors of the market. This is one of the beauties of our work. It is difficult, quiet, economic development, infrastructure work, but it is also joyous public space. So by conducting this in the outside, in front of everyone, helps to reinforce the transparency that we believe is necessary for our food system and for the management of our markets. Are there any other comments or even reflections, fears, anxieties? Well, we can handle it all. I'm glad to see that many of you are conducting different kinds of evaluation. We hope that this will be fun. We also hope it will also place your market into a wider world, an ecosystem of farmers markets that are also contributing similarly to their own local biological ecosystem, the territorial economy, and the food access for consumers.
And if I may, I would like to reinforce our suggestion to connect with organizations that works with biodiversity or farmers locally in your regions. Invite them to join you for this campaign at the market. Perhaps they have volunteers and they can help you in the census. So this is just an invitation to, if you have the capacity and resource, to make the use of this occasion of this campaign to organize events and special, even talks or exhibition at your market that relates with the campaign. It could be a good opportunity.
Kat, you asked a question about non-farm vendors like bakers, etc. These would be very much part of our census, whether on the biodiversity standpoint, they represent a category of products that we think is important to evaluate, to count, to recognize. And when it comes to our counting of vendors, again, similarly, extremely important to be able to show the full gamut of products and people who make up the market. So imagine your market on that day. The lowest threshold would be to conduct this work, just doing the counting and being able to report that to your community. Here's what we find in terms of our impact. But as Viola and her experience at Grant Market in Copenhagen, demonstrates, this is a marvelous opportunity for an event. So maybe we are celebrating World Biodiversity Day at our market this year. And we invite organizations that already work on biodiversity issues to join us, to table, maybe to have talks, maybe to also provide volunteers. So this becomes an occasion to start a conversation with partners and with shoppers who may not be thinking about these issues. They're doing biodiversity by shopping at the market, but they may not actually connect it to the wider policy implications or the difficult decisions you make in the market as to which products are allowed and not allowed based on the mission of your market and your commitment to local biodiversity. Well, we see that we are closing in on the hour. I don't see any other burning questions. in an uncharacteristic moment of efficiency, if we can call this meeting to a close before the end of the hour, this is our gift to give you 10 minutes back to your life. We are grateful that you joined us here. We're very excited that this could become an exciting expression of both local and global connections, where your market will be connected to many, many markets around the planet at the same time. And we really hope that you share this with your colleagues and your fellow organizations who may not have joined us here. By all means, please do spread the word. We would love as many who can join us. Viola, shall we?
Yeah, we can close now. Yes, I agree. Thank you so much for joining the webinar. If you have questions, please write up to us, and we're gonna sign up. Very important, because for those that sign up to the I would say campaign, we're gonna be sharing with you all the information to join the next webinars. And yes, and including the recording of this video. Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone for joining. And we will have a recording of this, which we are also happy for you to share with people who you feel should know this opportunity, know about this opportunity. Goodbye, everyone, and thank you so much. And never forget, farmers markets count, and we'll find out how and by how much.